Excuse me, and all his bokeh.
All right, everyone. We're starting with 2 minutes late, but welcome. We're really excited to be here. And I see Case is already right on. Yeah. So as you join us, please let us know where you're dialing from or watching from. And while I start seeing some of the answer popping up in the comments section, I'm going to make a couple of housekeeping exercise. The first one, before we go straight into this session with Gary Noble and Frank Socorro. So the first thing I want to say is make sure that you hit that subscribe button below. So yeah, up there. Hey, how's it going? Someone knows the rules of dropping ones here. I love it. So Clyde City, hey, zero music. Um, so yeah, make sure you follow us. We're very excited about the session today. Next week, I want to do a shout out to we changing everything. We're going to talk about the Grammys are opening on Sunday, and the following Thursday, we're going to be talking about branding, branding for Grammys. It's going to be with a marketing agency out of Nashville, and we're really excited about having with us. We're going to send communication. You can sign up. The registration is already open on our website, and you have the opportunity to submit your own branding to them for potentially being reviewed during the live show next Thursday. So make sure you register on musicexpo.co for the session next week. And in 2 weeks from now, we're having a Ask Me Anything session with Maria Elisa Ayerbe, who now we can say is not just a very talented mixing engineer and producer, but now is the host of a TV show on HBO Latino, and we'll talk about that, how she went from back in the behind the console to being a TV host. Um, we once we're done today, we're gonna have a pack session today with a lot of superb tracks um, submitted by the audience. We're gonna all hang on the Discord, and I believe you all receive a link to the Discord. So make sure you come check out with us after we're done the session. And without further ado, I want to bring on the screen Gary Noble and Frank Socorro, who are both in Miami right now. How is it going, guys? We need the horn sign. All right, Frank, you. This is your show, so I'll let you, introduce Gary to everybody. But personally, I'm extremely excited to have you both. You are two very dear friends of mine, and absolutely some of the best in the business. So not only you're some of the best in the business, but also you're some of the best people on this planet. So I'm really excited to have
Oh,
you, Gary. It's an honor to have you, um, and a
Great
privilege
to
and
be
honor. So thank you for
great
being
to
here. And I'm going to let you. And Frank, you're going to tell everybody about also the prize we have
oh, that's right.
contribution from Arcade Multimedia. Yeah.
That's right. We are going to be giving away a fantastic prize from IK Multimedia. It's like one of their mix plug-in packs. I forgot to tell you, Gary. It's kind of a surprise. Surprise, Gary. Um,
Yeah, surprise.
we kind of came in here a while ago setting up, and we kind of had some studio gremlins, and we've been kind of dealing with that. So I didn't get a chance to tell Gary about that. But yeah, we're going to be giving one away to the mix that we feel was the best mix. So surprise, if you have submitted a mix and it's awesome tonight, like you're going home with some awesome plugins. Like said, my name is Frank Socorro, and I'm here with my very good friend Gary Noble. Gary and I met a very long time ago. The first time Gary and I met, I was actually assisting him at Circle House. You guys were mixing Miss Dynamite with Salaam,
Yep.
and
Yep.
that was my first time meeting Gary. I'm gonna honestly say I didn't do that great of a job as an assistant that day, but Gary was really cool about it, and then we worked together for a really long time, and did some really cool stuff. For a long time, I was recording a lot, and Gary was mixing the stuff that I was recording, and so that helped me a lot, like learn about mixing and what not to do. And then I think probably one of the things that I'm most proud of, and I'm sure Gary is equally proud of, is we were both fortunate enough to work on Amy's Back to Black, which I'm super proud of. And Gary actually worked on her first album with Salam
Yep.
called
Frank.
Frank. So, so, but
So
beyond that,
it was
Gary's a legend. Gary, anything from the 90s till now, Gary has had his hands on a lot of really cool stuff. Gary, just can you just give us a little bit of just who you are, where you came from, and just so people know?
Okay. Thanks for having me, guys. Thanks, Lloyd. Thanks, Frank. Um, yeah, so I've been engineering for 3 decades now. I met Salam in December 1989, and we became instant friends. And I was, working with him and stuff. And then in '92, I became like his main engineer. And we worked on everything from Iny Kamosi and the Fugees to Tony Braxton, Whitney Houston, to of course Amy Winehouse, rest in peace, and a bunch of other stuff, you know, beyond that. But the list is too long. I won't even get into it. But
Facts.
you get the
Go
idea.
to his all music and just let
Yeah.
your grab a towel so you can pick up your face off the ground after you read all his credits. All right, so guys, super excited about this. This is gonna be awesome. Can I get some ones in this chat popping? I'm really excited if you're here to because you submitted an awesome mix. I'm excited for you. So what we're gonna do is we're going to be playing the songs. I'm gonna try to play verse chorus. Obviously, some of the tracks are instrumental. We Once I play like a verse and a chorus, I'll stop it. Gary and I will give our feedback, and then we'll just move from there. And then at the end, Gary and I will have a discussion. And I think like what we're gonna do is I think we should announce the winner in the Discord. I think that would be cool. So you guys come to the Discord after the thing is over, and we'll announce there the winner. We'll kind of drop your name so you know who won. And yeah, so on that note, let's get started. The first track I have is called Amor de Mai, or Mother's Love. I hope I pronounced that the Spanish part or Portuguese part. I'm not sure which one it was. So I'm going to head and play this. Let me make sure you guys are hearing this. Let me know if you hear this.
Transportamos em ti o corpo cansado, tudo sofrimento, alegria guardou e banha mãe. Mais tarde a luz, esse por filho abençoado, fazer tudo e mais e mais. Sem reserva entrega a boa vida, na boca compreender amor, na bons braços sentir seguro, boas palavras, este não valor, boa indica caminho futuro, boa e sustenta mandar, mais tarde vou dar asas que é para voar. Segura luz, vou presenciar, sem medo me aventurar. Mama, boêmia rainha, é boa que te faz me inspirar, é boa que te corre.
All right. So that was Amor de Mai, Mother's Love. It broke up a little bit on your end, Gary?
Yes, yes, it was breaking up.
Okay. Well, so I'll kind of give my 2 cents on that. So first of all, you guys came in guns blazing. It sounds really good. It sounds really open, very wide. Um, it was overall the instrumentation was really balanced. It was a really nice mix. It was very warm. It was very well done. I sounded like the tracking was amazing. The drums sounded great. My only comment on that was the vocals seemed like it was a little bit far back in the mix. I felt like it could have come up a little bit. Gary's nodding his head in agreement. That's really my only comment. The stereo image was great. It was like very big. It sounded like on the drums they used like some good room mics and they were spaced properly. Also on the guitars, the recording sounded like they were really good. So everything had a nice depth to it overall in the mix. My only complaint is the vocal. If the vocal was a little bit louder, a little bit more present, I think it could have kind of shone a little bit more. So, Gary, I know
Yeah,
you
I
woke up
agree
a
with
little bit on
with
you, but
yeah, I agree with Frank 100%. And with the vocal, when you revisit the mix, let's try adjusting the pre-delay on the reverb, because that's what it sounded like. The reverb was a nice choice. Everything was nice about his imaging, the width, and the depth of the mix was great. But I think if you adjusted the pre-delay on the vocal so that it would sound a little more forward, a little more intimate, I think it would have been perfect.
awesome. Overall, though, great job.
Yeah,
And
yeah, definitely.
that thing that Gary's, I think pre-delay is an underused tool in reverb. I think some people when you master the pre-delay and get it to work in your tracks, whether it be on vocals or any other instrumentation, it really kind of helps you take your mix to the next level. And reverb stops being like this. It stops being like ketchup, like you just put it on something and it kind of starts being part of the recipe, if that makes any sense. So I think learning how to use it and just being more efficient with your pre-delays is big. So, but great job. Let's move on to the next track. The next track is called "Au Soleil," um, and here it is. Let me rewind it a little bit.
Au soleil où danse
Oh,
la brise
my bad.
et l'air
All right,
humide.
let me start it again.
Au soleil où danse la brise et l'air humide qui réchauffe et rassure, où nos soucis s'envolent au vent, s'évaporent au soleil, au bruit des vagues, murmure paisible, érodant nos chagrins, tout gentiment, avec le temps, comme des galets au soleil. Rien ne m'emportera d'ici, où j'aime la façon de vivre, aux lueurs dorées du crépuscule. Je suis bien au soleil, laissez-moi au soleil. Je suis bien au soleil. Quand le soleil se couche enfin, on passe la nuit à célébrer demain, tout en dansant, corps à corps, jusqu'au lever du soleil. Rien ne m'en...
All right, another fantastic song. I don't know what you guys are doing, but this sounds amazing. Um, I really like this one. I think just my main thing right now is volume on it. It was all a little bit low. Obviously the mix was done rather conservatively, and you have a lot of dynamics. But I think you had space to kind of push some things, and I let it play a little bit longer. Because I knew that there were some parts that came in, like there were some strings and the guitars, and even some of the backgrounds when they came in. I feel like you could have just pushed everything a little bit more and been a little bit more daring with the mix. Like you could have just kind of like made stuff poke out because you had a lot of space. There wasn't a lot of
A
instrumentation.
lot of space.
There's a lot of space, which is great. So, but you have space you can like pan stuff and kind of just spread it out. And I felt like it was all very like contained and very like it sounded good, but it could have just been like amazing.
Yeah. Don't be afraid to use the soundstage, guys. That's what it's there for. Make use of it. But it was a good song overall, and I know the mix was good, like Frank said. But to me, the soundstage just sounded kind of narrow, kind of small, and the song could have been like so much more if it had opened it up.
Yeah, like with a song like that, like I feel like
Mm-hmm.
if the mix is like the first song, like the mix was really broad and it had a lot of like frequency, like there was the spectrum was big and it was deep. And I feel
Yep.
like if you do something like that on a song like this, it envelops the listener and now you're
Yes.
like you're drawn in and you feel like I'm at the beach, and I'm listening to this, or I'm at, Copacabana and I'm whereas when the sound stage is small, it just sounds like my mom is playing it in the kitchen on her little radio and I'm not
Right.
part. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not in the song. So great song though.
Yeah,
Great
it
mix.
is.
Just
It is.
you could push it further. Like don't be scared to push it. So that was Oh Soleil. Nice job. All right. So what do you think so far, Gary? About you've never done one of these before. It's just you having a good time?
I'm having fun, and I'm glad to see that everybody's like doing stuff at a high level. You know, what I mean,
Yeah.
just need little tweaks here and there, but so far it sounds pretty good.
Awesome, awesome. All right, so next one I got is from John Boy. The track is called "Missing You." So let me make sure I'm here.
Missing you is all that I've been thinking of. Missing you is missing you is all that I've been thinking of. Missing you is
I reminisce, they got my brother serving fair time. It's 25 before parole, check out the headline. Been many days, I swear I'm good within the bed crying. A side I probably never showed, and be the meds line. I'm stressing, my cousin gone, I swear the shit depressing. My family barely holding on, just pray we reap a blessing. I take an early morning trip, but Lord, I need direction. I feel he hated with a curse, and I ain't even repping. Just giving the life we live, man, tell me what's going on. I met a few soldiers overseas, but they ain't going home. Just hit my girl so I can vent, but she hung up the phone. Just in here staring at these walls, I swear I feel alone. Here today, you're gone tomorrow. The reason I wrote this song, man, I got so much on my plate, I take it to go, but now the same squad to hold you up, but love to see you fall. That's why so many gone away that I can't even call. I miss you.
missing you is all that I've been thinking of. Missing you is missing you is all that I've been thinking of. Missing you is
All right, so that was John Boy, and the track is obviously "Missing You," pretty famous redo of a very famous R&B song. Um, Pretty cool mix. I like the song. My first thing is right when those female vocals come in, there's an S, and it feels like the compressor whenever the S kicks in is going like this. And like you can hear the compressor like pushing down on her S's. So I don't know if it's just like a lot of de-essing or if it's just there's a limiter on the stereo bus and that's what's triggering the limiter. Um, but that is like it's squashing the track in
Yeah.
that section, and also like the 808 feels the same. It feels like it's like choking the track when it pops in. And I know sometimes you can't hear this stuff, guys. Like Gary and I hear this stuff because we've been doing this a bajillion years. And I know sometimes it's here, but you need to be careful, and that's why you're here. That's my thing, and honestly, sometimes when that happens, as good as the song is, it becomes for me distracting, and it's hard for me to listen to or to keep listening to the track objectively because I'm just like, man, I wish they would have not done that. So I think the song's cool. I think it has potential. I just limit less and then maybe rebalance so that it doesn't hit the limiter like that. You know, Gary?
Yeah, I agree. Be very careful with limiter, guys, because sometimes it will ruin your mix. It actually make it sound worse. So try and not use it too much. Like for me, the most amount of reduction you see on the limiter should be like 2 or 3 dB max. If it's doing more than that, is you gotta adjust the levels. Another thing I noticed with the track is the stereo image is also very narrow, and I don't know if it's because of how I'm hearing it. The vocal could have been louder too, more present, like more in your face. Like every time the snare hit, it overshadowed the lead. Like it's not like 3 dB louder, but it's just enough to where it distracts from his voice when the snare hits. So that's just what I was hearing, and I think that's part of the limiter situation also.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, guys, it's just like when the listener can listen and then just enjoy the music,
Yeah,
it's easier for your music to be successful. If the people, and like I've said this before, sometimes the regular listener, they don't know why they don't like it. It could be something like that, like it gets, it's like choking the mix, and the person's like, I don't like it. I don't know why, but I don't like it. There's something about it. I don't like how it sounds, and they will can't precisely put their finger on it, but sometimes it's stuff like this. So, mix is super important in the success of a song. So just be careful when you're doing stuff like that. Cool. All right, let's go on to the next track. The next track is called Methods 2. And I think this one is an instrumental one. All right, that was Methods 2. Um, it's not bad. When the drums came in, it was a little bit underwhelming. Um, uh, it kind of build up, and then the drums came in, and they were like, "Hey, we're here." Like they weren't like the drums sounded like they should have been super loud, but they didn't. They weren't actually super loud. You did some cool panning stuff, like the cymbals to the one side, and the kick almost felt like it was on the one side, and so some of like the lower frequencies of the arpeggio thing. But other than that, it was just too safe. It was too safe. Don't be scared to make stuff loud, guys. You had the headroom. I'm looking at the file. It's like super dynamic, like in the the visual of it. So you had the space. You just needed to bring it up and make it more bombastic. Um, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. It just could have been more.
yeah, I agree, Frank. It it was good, but the drum, like I just expected it to when the drums came in, like it was just going to explode, and it didn't happen. So I was like, like a little disappointed. But I like the elements and the way they were moving and how they were doing stuff with it. But it was just all like you said, it was just safe. It was like very safe.
Yeah. And guys, look, I get it. You're maybe you're on home, you're on headphones, you're trying to figure it out. It, it's normal.
What happened? I think we lost Frank. You're muted, like.
Sorry, we're back. Frank is back.
Okay.
My bad. There's a lot of tracks. I'm all in the browser. My bad, guys. That was a. I don't know. I'm off.
No worries, man. No worries.
I'm
The
off my
show
game.
goes on. The show goes
I'm
on.
way off my game today. Uh. Okay. Um. So let's. The next track is called "All Day," by Marvia Lawrence.
Swear she got me going all day with a body of perfection and I love to see you shake. I see you on the grind always, independent. You know you can have it your way. Swear she got me going all day with a body of perfection and I love to see you shake. I see you in the grind always, independent. You know you can have it your way. She got a good head on her shoulder. Got a degree, push me to go harder. So I'm screaming away forever.
Look like she from an island. It's brighter than the sun when she smiling. You ever break her heart, then shorty wildin'. Got her feet up in the sand, watching the ocean move. She said everything feel better when she close to you. Yeah, you can feel that breeze, baby. I don't never want you to leave, baby. No tricks up my sleeve. I promise it's you and me, baby. She say she want the chip, and she know I'm a team player. That shit a couple carats. Maybe you can get that ring later. She hop on top, she gon' ride till it's over. She got a good head on her shoulder. She say she ready, she want me to come over. That Henny straight, I don't need no soda. Still fuck her good when I'm sober, but she love it when I power up. Yeah, I'm going all day. Got her squirting more than fire truck. On it, she know I buy it. She roll the blunts, I just fire up. I'm trying to tame a monster, cause that banger leave you wired up.
Swear she got me going all day with a body of perfection and I love to see you shake. I see you on the grind always, independent. You know you can have it your way. Swear she got me going all day with a body of perfection and I love to see you shake. I see you in the grind always, independent. You know you can have it your way. She got a good head on her shoulder. Got a degree, push me to go harder. So I'm screaming away forever.
Cool. All right. That was All Day. Couple of things. One, on the chorus, and actually all the lead vocals, I think you were a little bit safe on the effects. I think you could have, in this style of music, I think in the chorus you could have done way more with the reverbs and the delays and like done some cool throws and stuff like that. Um, the kick was pretty loud, so it kind of makes sense in the genre. But my thing is that there's like some not marimba, but there's like some islandy keyboard stuff in there, and it was so in the back, like it lost this like that feeling that you probably when you heard the beat, you're like, "Yo, this beat is it." I didn't get it in the mix, so I can tell that it's in there, and that's probably why you picked the beat, but it's not in the mix, and so it's just like a drum, your voice, and then like some background sometimes, and then there's like a bass, and it was kind of buried too. So
Yeah.
I feel like you could have just the balance of the instruments. If it was better, like it would have just felt better overall.
Yeah, I agree, Frank. And I also felt that the ad libs on the vocals were overshadowing the lead vocal. Like the lead vocal need to come up a little more. You see where the kick is, where the kick sits. The lead vocal should be in front of that. The kick was more loud, was louder or more present than the lead. But it was a good beat. It was. I mean, the song is a good song. It just needed to be, like it says, the balance. The balance needs to be
Yeah,
because there's stuff in there. You hear it, and you're like, oh, that sounds kind of, hey, that's nice. But then it's so buried, like, you know, you can't really get into it. But his performance,
right.
his
And then
delivery,
also like
where's the music coming from?
there's music.
Yeah.
Oh my bad. I didn't mean for that to happen. Sorry. I'm having a freaking fantastic night tonight.
It's
No,
all
what I
good,
was gonna
man.
say is that sometimes the melody that you chose to sing is like related to the music in that beat, and if that's not there, there's nothing supporting that melody, and it's just like why is
Exactly.
this person doing that?
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
So you got to make sure that the musicality is
Yeah, I have
there.
no issues with the vocal performance. It's just the levels, the balance. Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next one. This is called Philip Logerto, and the song's called Settled. Cool. Philip Logerfo Logerfo. Um, cool track. Pretty basic, pretty simple. I mean, there's not a lot. There's like a percussion and a guitar. Um, it sounded pretty cool. I mean, there wasn't a lot going on. It was pretty safe. My only thing, and I'm gonna be 100% honest with you, there's some timing issues throughout the track
Yes,
between the
yes.
percussion and the guitar, and it's really distracting. So I don't know if there's an opportunity for you to maybe redo some of the guitars or fix whatever can be. But it is distracting. Like you're kind of bobbing your head, and then it's like, and there's like
Yeah,
a weird feeling. So that's the main thing. With that percussion there, I feel like you could have done more. Sound wise, maybe get more low end out of it, since there isn't kind of like a bass or anything really happening, and just to kind of fill the sonic space. Again, guys, you have an entire range of frequencies. If your instrument is only there, then figure out where you can kind of fill that space with something else. So that's my main thing about that. G.
yeah, I agree. It was way too linear for the most part, and then there's the timing issues too much. Every time I was getting into the groove of it, then I get thrown off by it. Another thing is when you're doing the solos, the other guitar parts should be pulled back and let the solos be featured. They were kind of like fighting each other for space, and sometimes they were clashing, and it lost me at that point. And I agree with everything that Frank said, plus what I just mentioned to you guys. That's how I felt about that. And it had the potential to be really, really good, but like it's a level thing again. You got to get watch the levels and stuff like that, and figure out. Okay, this is an instrumental song. Who's the lead? Who would be the lead singer on this? Would be the guitarist, right? This guitar solo. So when he's on stage, everybody should be pulled back. The other instruments should be pulled back. The percussion could stay where it is, but like Frank said, use the spectrum, add
Mm-hmm.
depth and height to the percussion, because they're doing their own thing they're out of the way, but they need to make sure he's supporting the guitar. And sometimes I felt it wasn't doing that.
Yeah, I think there's a song called by that band America, the Horse with No Name song. I've been
Mm,
through the desert. There's like the bridge slash solo because it's like an instrumental section. Is
right,
that kind of what was that song kind of reminded me of that? And I think that song is a good reference to listen
right.
to as far as like what's happening with the instrumentation because the vocals go away at that part and
Hmm.
it's just guitar and then like some percussionists. It's very similar to this. So I think if you listen to this and we're like, okay, this is what they did, you could do something similar and it would work. So that's for Philip. Please go listen to that track as a reference and then kind
Yep,
of see how
you're
you
right
can kind
about
of
that
make that
one.
work.
That's
So
a great suggestion, Frank. Great suggestion.
thanks, G. All right, let's go to the next song, which is called "By My Side," and this is from Case Newcomb. Yeah, Case Newcomb.
Rainbow colors fall from clear blue skies. I never worry when you're by my side. I travel far to see what I could see. But at the end of the day, I just wanna see you with me. When I get you in the dark, gonna let you feel the beating of my heart. I'm gonna let you in. That's when we begin.
Uh, Maybe there's something up in the mix. It feels like those horns are out of time. Uh, did that feel weird to you, G?
Yeah, yeah, it did. It was
I
fine in
think
the beginning, but then after that, they kind of went out. I was kind of enjoying that. Matter of
me
fact,
too.
yeah,
I
it
mean,
sounded pretty good.
this person clearly came in here to pull at our heartstrings, G. I mean, I think
Yeah.
this is both our up both our alleys. I
Yep.
really liked it. There was something weird there with the with that horns though. So I
Yeah.
stopped it. I don't know if maybe in the bounce, it sounded like the like you know how you add like a slap to the horns. It sounded like
Right.
we were just hearing the slap. Like it was
Right.
just like kind of like off a
Something
little bit.
happened. I'm not sure what it is.
Yeah, because the rest of it was grooving. That didn't make any sense. So that's why I stopped it. That was awesome. Otherwise than that, like the track is awesome. I really liked it. There was a lot of cool like nuanced guitar stuff panned that
Hmm.
came in. That was really cool. I liked the vocals. I liked how it sounded. I like really liked how everything sounded. My only thing, and this is a personal thing, just like a preference thing, I would have um done something to make some of the parts a little bit more aggressive, so like the horns
Yeah.
maybe do
Yes,
like
I
a
agree.
little like distortion kind of thing to
Right.
just kind of give it that like kind of stacks kind of thing like that, a little bit more
Right. Right.
aggressive, like you know what's the Booker T and the MGs kind of vibe, on some of
Hmm.
like the keys and stuff. That's the only thing that I have to say, obviously without that timing thing, whatever. I don't know what happened there, but other than that, like that's my only comment for this, man. I really like this one.
Yeah, I agree with you on that also, Frank. And I like how they left the vocal intimate. They didn't make it swimming reverb and stuff. I really like that. Like she felt like she was singing directly to you. That's good. I really like that. And the elements in the track were all right. And like you said, it just needed a little aggressiveness in certain spots just to make it feel a little bit more live, like you were watching somebody perform on stage. Other than that, it was great.
Facts, facts. Yeah. Who? Case Newcomb. I know you were in here earlier. I saw you in the chat. Man, good stuff. I don't know what happened there in the horn. Maybe check it out. Let me know if maybe I'm bugging, but it just sounded like it just kind of way off. So I stopped it. All right, let us move on. So far, great stuff, guys. Today, really good stuff. The next one is called Radio Music, and I don't have a person, but the track's called Radio Music. Nice, nice. So that was the track's called Radio Mix. Pretty cool track. Critique wise for me, mix wise, I think the the transitions could have been louder, been more impactful. Again, was pretty just like straight across. Volume wise, didn't affect it. I think that would have just made things stick out a little. Some of those drum breaks could have just had like a reverb or something, just kind of just make you notice them. The bass felt the low end felt good. I think the kick could have been maybe a little bit more present. Um, and the groove was there. I just the mix felt like this, like it was just it didn't go anywhere. Um, and I've said this before, automation, guys. That's like the when you're and I know some of you guys are producers and like you're like, oh Frank, I'll just pay somebody else to do it. But if you are gonna pay somebody else to do it, make sure that they're making your mix dynamic. Like things should be coming in and out. Just like Gary was saying before, like when a certain instrument is featured, it should stick out and then everything else should kind of like figure out where they belong and then things come back. And when you have that movement, you can keep the person entertained and in inside your mix. So the track's cool. I think it has potential. I just the mix needs more dynamics. It's too stagnant.
I agree, Frank. Too linear, and we need more drastic shifts between the different sections. And one of the things I've noticed right away, the stick, snare stick, whatever you want to call it, it needed to be more present. Like the kick was more present than that, because to me that's the real swing of the track. The interplay between the kick and that was given it, but it was in the back, and not only that, it was in a lot of reverb. Like when the full track came in, it got a little bit better, but it should have been much more present. If you listen to a lot of the popular songs on the charts right now that use that type of vibe, that stick is super loud. It has to be because it's driving that's the driving force of the track, and the kick is support. But that's basically it for me. I like the track, but like Frank said, I would love for it to have more movement and more of a shift between the sections, so you really feel the sections. And I know it's called radio mix, but you need to make it like a club mix.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I think with this kind of music, like, and
yeah,
that Gary brings up a great point. Like, be aware of like where your music is gonna play, and then it has to kind of, one of the things that we hear all the time when somebody's like making a song is the question where they're asked, if this was gonna play by a DJ, what song would play before it and what song would play after it, and your song has to fit in there, and not only like groove and musically but sonically, like it has to compete. So
yep,
with an instrumental track like this, if you wanted it to be a club or a radio, whatever it is, figure out what's going to play before and after, and then you sonically have to fill that same space. So that's a
yeah.
just a something you guys can use. All right, the next track is called Angel Demonio. And this is this guy was here last time, Gary, and he did a really good job. So let's see what he comes up with this time.
Okay, let's check it out.
Primero tengo que decir que detesto a algunos humanos, no a todos. No soporto a los que se las dan de lobos, pero son terneros, y aborrezco a los que se visten de terneros, pero son lobos. Amo a algunos humanos, no a todos. Adoro a los que a pesar de sus cicatrices siguen amando, así sean tildados de bobos, y me disgustan los bobos hipócritas que no ven más allá de sus narices. Loros, llenos de críticas insólitas sin pensar en el porqué y en sus raíces. Puede que no sea el mejor, ya que tal cosa no existe. Y aunque la competencia no es lo primario, mi lengua insiste en relatar y mis manos persisten en crear. Y es por eso que cuando hablen de mí, estarán hablando de poetas legendarios. Desalmados, tienen el descaro de agarrar el micro. Descarados, son tan malos de tarro, tienen la voz, suenan como tarados y me duelen los oídos. Yo cambio el canal Animal Planet, pues suena mejor el aullido de un mico. Tiene melodías más complejas. Si voy a escuchar animales, escucho a las ovejas negras, las que me enseñan, las que me inspiran, las que me muestran que aunque no haya más oxígeno en el mundo, aún respiran. Amigos o no amigos, a los que se creen del mundo el ombligo, les digo rápido que muestren talento, porque les cuento, acá los que son de verdad les darán látigo. Bájale al fuego del ego que tiene su caldero parcero. Acá todo artista empezó desde cero. A esto todos le metemos esfuerzo y a cada canción le metemos empeño. Si no tiene pa' la payola, ahorre para el almuerzo.
That was Angel y Demonio. I like that one. I like it again. You did a good job. The drums were pretty good. I felt like they could have knocked a little bit heavier. The bass was good, and I think the balance was good, but I just felt like there was a little bit more punch there that we could have had. I think maybe the volume overall of the vocal, it was very in your face, but maybe because it's so loud, maybe kind of left you not a lot of space in the stereo bus, so you couldn't push the drums as much. I think there was probably a way to find the space to have both and have a little bit more bombastic drum. Also, there was a bit of sibilance in the vocal that was made extra apparent when it hit the reverb. So you would be a S, and then it would be like from the reverb, and that for me was a little bit distracting. But other than that, great job again. So
Yeah, that was a good track. What I really liked about it was I don't speak Spanish, but I love this energy.
yeah,
I
energy was
love the
great.
energy. Like I felt like I was listening to a spoken word song to a really nice track. Except it was in Spanish. I really love the overall energy of it. But like Frank said about the track, those things, if he had those, then it really, like be exceptional.
Yeah, so good job, man. Keep it up. I mean,
Yeah.
you guys were I'm doing these. I have a whole bunch of these lined up, so you guys can keep coming back and submitting your tracks, and I'll keep listening to them and giving you my crappy opinions. So please feel free.
It's not crappy. Not crappy at all. I actually like a lot of the stuff I've been hearing. I just know that it just needs tweaks. It just tweaks. It's not like we saying, "Oh, this is garbage. Scrap it. Start from scratch." It just needs tweaks. A lot of stuff is actually really good. I'm kind of impressed. I'm surprised and impressed.
Absolutely. All right. Next track is from CJ May.
I like it already.
up and make ends meet. I got a feeling I'll be leaving real soon now. Something will up and coming sweet off my feet and lay me down into the ground outside of your town in a coffin all nice and neat. The eternal valley. I owned a friend who hit his head taking a shower. Woke up back in 2016. Hit up this little girl with a message and some flowers. While the country turned into reality TV. If you came around, we'd be so proud of you and all that you bring to do. Of you, of you.
I want to see them perform that live.
Good job, man. Good job. I like that
Yeah,
one. I think the mix fit the song, which is
yeah,
important. I'm a real hip hop R&B guy, and like obviously my opinion is always gonna be like super loud kick. I like a lot of bass. I like a lot of things, but I feel like this is a situation where all those things to me sounded good, and I feel like the mix actually fit the record.
I
Um,
agree.
my only, I think I got like two things. One, that section that kind of felt like a chorus where there was a bunch of other vocals happening together. I wish there was something special happening sonically with that. It just felt like it was just louder. And then at times it felt like maybe there was like a phaser or something on the vocal. I wish I could have heard a little bit more of that, like maybe like cool delay, something to just make those little sections. You have a very dynamic song. Like there were some cool sections. I know you saw my face when it kind of broke down there. I kind of was like, ah, cool. That's really cool. I think just vocally, I think I would have loved to hear, and then obviously this is just personal me. I would have loved to hear like some cool something happening with the vocal sonically. So
Yeah, I agree. It was a good song overall. I think it was a very good combination of funk, rock, and soul. And I like the fact that they had different sections. The guitar solo was great. You know what I mean? But it's just like Frank said, there's just one of those little sections that have something special about it that's gonna stick in the listener's mind. And
absolutely.
overall, it was great. It was great. I have no major issues with it.
You guys are all super talented. I just want to say that. Just off rip,
Yeah.
like you guys are super. Like I don't care what anybody says. You guys are all super talented. This next track is called Claptrap, just like Sunshine. So here we go. Nice. Uh, nice track. Super cool. Super chill. I liked it. I liked the music. I think there was a bit of a theme today with the instrumental tracks. Just very like straightforward. Um, you guys, if this is just the music that you're just putting out because this is your music and you know whatever you have a thing, that's cool. If you're trying to sell this music and you're trying to get somebody to bite or trying to somebody to perform on it, you gotta give them something to grab onto. And the groove on this is really cool. But I felt again you could have been more aggressive or just dynamic or just tried something a little bit more, just make things a little bit stick out a little bit more. It was all like really safe. And I understand when we're mixing, sometimes we feel like, oh, I can't do that. That's crazy. Try it. It might, surprise you. So
I agree, Frank. It was very linear. It had a nice groove, but it was very linear, and I also felt like the main chords that was played in the intro that went all throughout the song, they could have been brought down or even muted in certain sections to make the song feel like it went somewhere and then came back. Like it was
yeah,
always there, dominant. No matter what else was going on, you heard that above everything else. And to me, that kind of kept it like this for
yeah,
the whole time.
linear.
Yeah,
Linear is the reason people do drops and do all this stuff. And at that part when I fading it out, like you had kind of done a drop and you were doing something else. The reason we do this is to not have linearity. So you don't want linearity in the production. You also don't want linearity in the mix. Like the mix can be just as dynamic as the production. And when you have that combination that's well done and well executed, you have a really good chance to have a song that's actually really successful. So on
yeah.
that note, I think that's the last song we can play. So we're gonna jump over to the Discord. I think Loic's gonna come in and probably tell you something and tell you how bad I did today.
So good. Murphy's law reigns supreme, bro.
Oh man, today was crazy. We are all gonna jump over to the Discord and talk, and that's where we're gonna announce who. There he is. Look at that.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Uh,
announce who the winner of the. What is it? They're getting the IK multimedia. What is it? The.
this
So
is when, yes. So we're getting. Let me show you what we're giving.
Oh, show them like.
Yeah, I don't even know if we
I
can.
know those plugins. They sound great, by the way.
Ooh,
Yes.
look at this. We have
So,
someone actually giving. Let me do something. Okay, so we're gonna do this. We're gonna try something. This
Oh,
is no, that's not what I want to try. This is not what I want to
that was
try.
great though. Keep doing it.
yeah.
I have I have literally my cat in front of the okay, so this is what I want to do. I'm going to do share screen, and then I'm going to be picking this here. Okay, so everybody sees this, and now what we're
Yep.
going to do
Yep.
is we're going to remove Frank, and oh, we lost what happened? What's not sharing here? No, I don't want me.
So good. You don't have to show me. I'd rather you focus on the T-Rex 5 Max. And for everybody that's in here tonight, these plugins sound amazing. I've used them. I actually used one the stealth limiter today on a project that I was using, and it worked
You
really
were the
well.
one that you actually put me onto that one. G.
Yeah,
You told me about that one a while ago. You've been on it
yeah,
for a while. They're great. We actually used them in the last mix seminar that we did
right.
in January, which is dope. So those of you who attended, if you were there, you know what it is.
Yep,
These
and
are amazing plugins.
yep, and people who know me personally know that I don't recommend stuff I don't use. So I actually use these, and I know what it sounds like. And if you can win this tonight, hey, you're going to be very happy.
And IK has been super generous with us.
Yes,
If you've been, really supporting like independent musicians and people working from home, so really appreciate. And this is a really sweet package. So you guys, you're gonna kind of deliberate who should be the winner. If everybody, I assume everybody has instructions to join the Discord. We're gonna join the Emmy Lounge. So please drop a 5 if you all have the instruction to go to Discord, or we can link here. Um, Yes, and we will basically draw the winner, and we'll just chat with our fellow panelists and presenters today. Gary, it was awesome to have you. We're gonna have to send you the link to the Discord so you can join us. You don't have to do anything; just click on the link.
Okay.
Um, and on this, we see you next week, same time, same location, for the branding for Grammys. It's going to be tons of amazing recommendations for branding. You will have the possibility to submit actually your own branding assets for potential feedback, same way that we did tonight. So make sure you go to musicexpo.co to register. And we're going to jump to the Discord, and we see you there to continue the conversation, do the networking part, and also announce the winner of the TRX S5 Max.
Loic, send me the link to the Discord as well, please.
Cameron, do you mind dropping the link in the private chat?
Thank you guys. You guys rocked. You
Thanks.
guys sent amazing music.
Yeah,
Thank you
thanks
so much
for
for
inviting
participating.
me. It was a lot of fun, and I'm open to coming back doing this again.
Well, Gary, we sign you up for it. You and I were going to chat, and yes, let's do some magic. I mean, it's always amazing to have you. So thank you for joining us. Frank, thanks again for hosting the session.
Yeah, thanks, Frank.
Bye, everyone.